Hola collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Ultraman Omega Armor Change set as part of the Ultra Action figure line from Bandai. We did it, guys. Changeable hands. It's happened. It actually happened. No more of the weird two-hand things that we've been having since this line started 10 plus years ago. It feels like forever. I don't know how long it's actually been. Interchangeable hands. I'm psyched. I'm ready for it. This looks like a really cool set. You get your Ultraman Omega figure. You get your two armor sets for Trigaron and Rekniss. So this should be pretty cool. Spinning it around to the back here shows you how to plug the pieces on to get the two different forms. And then, of course, you know, just has a ton of articulation. 22 points of articulation to be exact. What we're used to for this line. Still, don't think we have any thigh swivels. We'll get there. One thing at a time. Baby steps. Baby steps. I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here is the Ultra Action figure for Ultraman Omega. And I don't want to start this video off with, like, building the hype level too high. But I think this is easily the best Ultra Action figure they have ever done. I'm really enjoying seeing this line kind of finding itself and really, like, it's peaking. Like, I feel like they're really figuring things out. Now, why it took them so long to figure these things out, I don't know. And that's an argument, I guess, for another day. But I feel like they're really getting there. And this is a really fun figure. Now, taking a look, like I said, most of the articulation you're used to here is present. You have kind of a ball joint for the head, but he can look down really pretty far, look up pretty far, side to side, no problem. Tilt side to side a little bit. I feel like sometimes with these figures, like, you can move the head side to side, but it's a little stiff, and you kind of feel like, ugh, am I going to break this? No problems here. This guy is ready to move around. No problems whatsoever. The paint on the head looks good. The eyes look good. The silver here, all that looks great. The silver here on the chest, I think, looks fantastic. You have the metallic blue there for the color timer in the center. Now, I do wish that the silver, you can see where it very much, you know, cuts off at the halfway point. I wish that would have continued around. We see this a lot with Ultra Action figures where you hit the halfway point, straight down the figure, and they are done with paint. But not here. We actually have the full shoulder painted. The arm goes all the way around down here on the forearm. I think they did a pretty nice job with that. I appreciate that. Now, again, you can kind of see it stop here. So, unfortunately, the back didn't get the same treatment, but the head, the shoulders, the arms did. So that's, again, a step in the right direction. Speaking of a step in the right direction, there is a ball joint in the torso. I went back and looked because at first I was like, oh yeah, torso articulation. No, brand new. I went back and looked at all my recent Ultra Action figures. They have never had movement in the torso before. This is brand new. First time. I'm very excited about that. Shoulders pretty standard. So out to the side, you can swing around. Gets a little bit in the way with the shoulder pad, but really not much. You have a bicep swivel. 90 degrees there in the elbow. And interchangeable hands. Finally, this is the biggest deal to me because I hate the old finger weight, the two sets of the fingers stuck together. You know, they could never really grasp accessories. Now, when this line started, they didn't even do accessories, and they slowly started introducing accessories, which was nice. Now we have a really beautiful way to hold these accessories. So you can see he's got a gripping hand here for the weapons, which we'll get to later. You can see he's got a closed fist here. You do have a full set of closed fists. That's what it comes with in the packaging. So if we pop this out, you also have a full set of these kind of like grasping hands. So I'm going to put the other one in here, and you can kind of recreate that pose of him like reaching out like he's going to... They always have that pose when he's about to like grasp the monster, I guess, like signifying that it's his prey or whatever. So you can kind of recreate that here. Or if you just want to pretend he's about to shoot off like a Dragon Ball Z type blast. So I think that's really cool. You get a hand like this for each arm. You get a closed fist set of hands. And then you also have a set of these type of hands so that you can do the beam attacks. So you can bring this in and do the elbow so that he is firing the Kosen. That's awesome. I love that. And as you can see, they're so easy to pop out. You just quick little pop out. There's a nice little snap. I'm going to go ahead and give him the grasping hand there. And then I'll give him a closed fist over here on this side. But they're so easy to change out. I am so happy about this. This is something I've wanted for this line for a really long time. I hated the old style of the fingers because they didn't really achieve anything. They didn't look good. They didn't hold accessories well. I just hated them. They just did not work. And so these interchangeable hands, you have really nice options here. And they're so easy to pop in and pop out. I just love it. I'm so happy. And I mean, basically you get 3 complete sets and then you get the 1 additional like weapon grasping hand. Really great. Really, really excited about this. Continuing on, so you can kick pretty much all the way forward, kick all the way out to the side. They don't have a thigh swivel, but they do have a joint in here that you can, like, it is meant to rock this side to side. So it's kind of like a hidden thigh joint. It's not a full thigh cut or not a full thigh rotation, but you get a little bit. I would say maybe like 15 degrees in each direction, something like that. But it's something. Again, it's a step in the right direction. I would say pretty much the same knee that we're used to and pretty much the same ball joint in the ankle that we're used to. But again, just more articulation than you've ever seen for this line, and the interchangeable hands is such a big deal to me. I love this figure. I'm so happy. I'm also really enjoying the show so far. I don't know if anyone's watching. I know a lot of people sleep on Ultraman, and I get it to a degree, but I'm really liking this show. So if you're not watching Omega yet, I think you should definitely check it out. It's free on YouTube every Friday. You can watch it whenever you want. You don't have to watch it when it's live. It's on the channel afterwards. So don't sleep on Ultraman Omega. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. Hopefully it keeps up, but I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. Alright, so putting aside the fact that this is probably the best Ultra Action figure they've ever done, there's more that this guy can do. He's got 2 armored modes. I thought that the set they did for Arc last year was cool. I think this is even better. I really, really like what they've done here. So we're going to go ahead and grab our assortment of Rekniss parts here. And you're going to start off with these like forearm gauntlets. They have a little bit of paint there, which I think looks pretty good. And they're a little malleable, not so much, but just enough that you can just go ahead and pop these right onto the forearms. There's one for each arm. You just slide them right on there. They're not going anywhere. They are nice and snug. You can still kind of move them around if you want to. Like you could rotate it around. They're not so tight, but they're not moving. They're not sliding. They clip on very nicely. You also have this one here that clips onto like the bicep. So you just pop this on here. And there's kind of like a nice cutout for the elbow joint. As you can see there, it's not here on this side. But they did that so that way you can use the elbow with no issue. Really works well. Again, snug enough that it's not going anywhere, but if you need to kind of rotate it around or whatever, you certainly can. And then we have our shoulder pad piece. So there is a little peg right there. You can probably see right there. And then, so that has this piece that pegs into the shoulder, and then you have the actual shoulder piece is on a ball joint, so you can move that all around. And you just go ahead and drop this on. Now, sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes because it's kind of a little peg, I find it a little bit easier to just pop the actual shoulder piece off and then just go ahead and line this up so you can really peg this in here, because it can be a little difficult, and for some reason it loves to pop out of my hand. I don't know why. So there we go. The other thing to keep in mind is this will kind of extend past and hang out there. So in your mind, you might be thinking it should stop like around here, and then you might not be lining the peg up correctly because of that, because that's something I was definitely doing at the beginning. And then I can go ahead and pop this back on the ball joint. So there we go. And we are almost done. 2 last things to do. You can actually come up here and remove his head crest. And I should have showed this off in the other form as well, because on the show, sometimes he actually does take this off and use it as a weapon. And if you wanted to like feed this through his grasping hand, you absolutely can. So you can have him. I don't remember exactly how he holds it in the show, but he can hold it here. So if you want him to use this as a weapon, you absolutely can. But there is a new head crest for the Rekniss combination. So we're going to just pop this in here. Pop that in there. And then the last thing to do is give him his massive sword. Let's take a quick look at the sword before we give it to him. Really nice molded detail. Not a ton of paint. Just a little bit of red here on the one side, unfortunately. Not on both sides, but still a cool looking sword nonetheless. And so we can pop this into his hand. He grabs a hold of it very nice and snugly. And there we go. We have Omega in his Rekniss form. Really liking this a lot. Like I said, the armor just attaches so well. It's simple but effective. I love the sword. I think that's great. The problem with the Arc armor from last year, I feel like the solar one was a little bit better than the lunar one, but there was a lot of bulky stuff. Pieces wouldn't necessarily always stay on that well. I know for the solar one, like the gloves didn't always stay on the best. And sometimes you would have pieces, you know, not pegging in or staying on. This is very simple. Everything just mostly pops on because these, you know, friction onto the forearms or the bicep. And then you just have this piece here. Then you can move this all around. Now, sometimes if you're trying to move the shoulder around, it is possible that you'll unpeg this shoulder piece. But you just pop it right back on. And you can see the paint there. All that, I think, looks pretty good. So yeah, this is rad. I mean, I'd love a little bit more paint on the sword. About my only complaint, but I get it. Yeah, this is rad. I love this. I love his crazy giant head crest there. Kind of looks like a mohawk to me. Although, wait till you see the next one. But yeah, this is great. I like this a lot. Alright, I've gone ahead and removed all the armor pieces to get him ready for his next transformation. I went ahead and left the head crest off for now because we're going to be replacing that. So, we're going to bring in our Trigaron pieces. And the first thing that I think is really, really cool, they give you a new foot. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to pop off this foot, which I will admit, every time I'm a little wary, but it pops off really easily. It's not a big deal. And then they give you a new foot to pop on here in this gunmetal gray. Sometimes I kind of just put it down and pop in there. It's a little snug, but I'd rather it be, I guess, more snug than loose. And then you have this giant shin guard here, and this just like the forearms for the other armor, pops on here, and you can kind of line it up so that it, you know, the piece here lines up with the kneecap. And then they give, I mean, that's just such a great attention to detail. I really appreciate that. I probably could have lived if they just had the red foot, but the fact that they actually give you the colored gray foot to match this, just really nice pop of yellow paint there. Really, really works. I think that's really cool. So moving on from that, we have a forearm piece here, which we are going to pop on very simply. Then we have another bicep piece, so we will pop that on pretty simply and just kind of rotate that to the correct spot. And then we have another piece here to peg into the shoulder. So we could do that. And I kind of like the way this one fits better because it just, this piece here kind of just like naturally blends into the chest piece here. The other one kind of hangs out to the side, which I don't like as much. I just kind of like the way that this fits a little bit more flush. Just my personal preference, but wanted to point it out. So that is that. And then we will give him his new head crest. That just pops right in here, like so. And then we can go ahead and give him this claw weapon, which just pops into his hand. There's just a little bar there for fit right into the hand. And then there we go. And there is his Trigaron form, looking good. I think this is a really cool form. Again, the head crest looking like a mohawk there. I love that. Really, really nice with the gunmetal gray and then the gold paint. All of the gold paint on here looks great. The claw weapon is really, really cool. Just that whole arm there. And then, of course, you have the boot down here. Just really cool. Really cool forms. I'm interested to see. I'm sure he'll get another one or two by the time the show's over. Usually, we get, what, 4, maybe 5 forms if we're lucky, all told. Not including the base form. But yeah, this is cool. I like this a lot. And the cool thing is, I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of combo form, because technically you could kind of put these other pieces on as well. And so I'm wondering, like, you wouldn't be able to use both weapons at the same time. Can I get this one? I don't know why I always have so much more trouble with this one. There we go. So technically, I forgot the bicep piece, but you get it. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of combo form at some point in the show, because that would be really cool. Now, if there is, they probably would change it up. It probably wouldn't be just putting the 2 armors on, because I'm sure they'd want to probably give him like a Rekniss leg at some point. But yeah, plus they probably want to give him a head crest that's like the 2 fused in one, something like that. So they probably would release another figure. But yeah, this is cool. I like this a lot. I'll take these off just so we can get the actual Trigaron form here. But I'm having a hard time picking which is my favorite. At first I was like, oh, Rekniss all day. The blue is so great, and blue is my favorite color, so I usually go there. Plus I really like the sword. I think that looks really good. But I really like this one too. I really do. The colors are fun. All the armor bits are really cool. And like I said, everything holds together well. Nothing's about to fall off. Nothing's loose. Everything attaches snugly but easily. I think they did a really great job with this. I really like this figure a lot. I definitely think it is the best Ultra action figure that they have ever done. And I really hope that future ones continue in this style. I love the addition of the ball joint in the torso, as that gives a huge amount of posability that these figures did not have previously. They didn't give us an actual, like, visible thigh swivel, but they kind of built in a little bit of play there where you can actually wiggle it back and forth. So again, step in the right direction. And the interchangeable hands is such a big deal. I think it looks so good. The fact that you can actually pull off specific poses. You don't just have those stupid 2 sets of fingers that couldn't really pose and they couldn't really hold accessories. I don't know what they were for. This is such a nice upgrade. Both the armors look fantastic. The pieces pop on easily, but they stay secure. I don't have to worry about them falling off. And honestly, both armors look really awesome in my opinion. So, like I said, if you're sleeping on Ultraman Omega, I definitely think it's worth checking out. Check out the show. It's free on YouTube to watch. Can't go wrong there. And this figure is really cool. I mean, obviously they're going to do figure arts and stuff. I think they've already announced the one for the Rekniss armor, or maybe Rekniss itself is getting a figure art. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't usually go in for figure arts just because how pricey they get. I can't remember specifically, but I think this figure was somewhere in the area of like $30 to $40, which, yes, Japanese figures are a little bit more expensive than, like, say, like a G.I. Joe Classified or a Star Wars Black Series. But that's just, it's always kind of been that way. But you get a lot with this one. You get the 2 armors. The base figure itself is great. All the interchangeable hands. The accessories are just, I can't stop gushing about this, guys. I'm really excited. They've come a long way. I think they've really come a long way, and I really hope they continue to improve as they go, because that just proves that this line can be really, really cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.